Hey, how's it going everybody? My name is Artorigold, and today I'd like to go over Sombra and how you can play her to really help rank up. So first off, Sombra is pretty overpowered. Just being able to disable heroes and make them not be able to use any ability is pretty broken, and honestly, it lasts for a very long time. Even though it will be getting a nerf, it's a very small one. I mean, it's only a 1 second nerf. It's 6 to 5 seconds. I mean, it will be a little bit weaker having it nerfed by 1 second, but all around, a 5-second duration of not being able to use any abilities is pretty busted. So I'd like to go over the play style of Sombra, and it's actually pretty simple. It's pretty much just as simple as hacking the right targets, being able to know when to translocate to safety, know what you want to hack, like health pack wise, where you want to position your translocators. Usually it's around wherever your hacked health pack is, but not quite on it. I'm going to go ahead and hack this mega health pack in this server room. This is very important. You could go and hack maybe a mini health pack, but it will take a little bit longer for you to heal up. If you take like a lot of damage, you might have to wait for 2 minis. But ultimately your translocator, you could put it on the health pack itself, but that is a little bit more dangerous. As you're going about and you're kind of like flanking the enemy team or whatever, and whenever you translocate back, when you translocate, you kind of give off a little trail and it shows like the direction that you're going to go in, and enemies can definitely piece it together where you're going to be based on that trail. And typically if it's in the direction of a health pack, they are going to just kind of assume that, hey, he's probably on that health pack. Oh look, it's hacked, he's around here somewhere. So one of the things that you should do, instead of putting a translocator directly onto it, I like to put it a little bit further away, usually in a place that's a little bit more hidden or harder to see. Here in this clip I'll show, I kind of put it behind it. So instead of putting it on the health pack, I actually go right here instead. This isn't really like that hidden. I mean, obviously if you really looked for it behind this pillar, you would see it, but it does kind of block a good bit of line of sight. And most people, and you know, because how quick and how fast paced this game is, they'll probably take one look, they'll see that there's no translocator on the health pack because they will assume that you are going to put it there if the enemy's smart. Most enemies, because the game just goes really quickly, they're going to take one look at this health pack, they're going to see if there's a translocator there or not, and then they're going to move on to something else. They don't really have time to spend to kind of just look around every little inch of the map in order to find it, right? And even if they do destroy the translocator, that's not a big deal for you because the cooldown's just so low, it doesn't matter. The only thing that really matters is if they're going to sit and camp your translocator, are they going to sit there and just wait for you to teleport back when you're low health and then just like, you know, melee you to death? So anyways, I want to go ahead and move into the next clip, and this is going to be the EMP usage. So you always want to try and go for EMPs that are going to have really large impact and value. Typically you want to go for as many targets as possible. In this instance, I think I hit maybe like 3 or 4 people, and what I'm really trying to go for is I'm trying to stop this Nanoblade Genji from getting too much value. If the Nanoblade Genji gets a kill but he's hacked, he's not going to be able to use that dash reset, and that's really what I'm going for. But being able to hack the Ana so she can't sleep me and she can't nade or purple anybody, and being able to hack a Orisa, a main tank, is always pretty valuable because they're not going to be able to use a shield and the enemy team has no mobility, so the shield would normally really help them in that situation. But since they don't have that, it's just really hard for them. Also, one thing to note, if Orisa has a shield, or actually a lot of abilities that have shields like a Symmetra Wall, Baptiste's ultimate, if all of those things are deployed, your EMP will completely delete them. There's a Winston bubble, it's going to be deleted from the game basically. Your EMP can get rid of things like that, so it's pretty valuable to use it. Also in this instance, what's really good about this EMP, obviously I'm going to stop a Nanoblade Genji. It's really going to help lower his value, but at the same time, this Orisa is slept right now. One of the biggest problems with dealing with Orisas is her Fortify ability. Your EMP or just your hack in general, if you use it on an Orisa, she can Fortify, and your hack isn't going to stop the Fortify. So she's going to have that damage reduction and immunity to CC, and your hack doesn't really do a whole lot there. I mean, she's not going to be able to die maybe unless you like really focus her, but for the most part, that Fortify is kind of a problem for you. So since Orisa is slept, it basically guarantees that she's not going to have Fortify, and she will be very easy to kill without Fortify, no shield, and with an Ana not being able to use her nade or any of her abilities, then she's going to go down pretty quickly. You always want want to try to go for high priority targets, but if you can't do that, just try to hit as many people as possible, or you can use your EMP in a more counter reactionary kind of way. Good examples of this is using your EMP on a Symmetra wall or a Lucio who's using beat so you can cancel all of the shields. Things like that are pretty valuable. Canceling enemy abilities is very valuable, and if you're able to do an additional hack right after your EMP to make the hack duration last even longer, I highly recommend that you do that. I do that, of course, on the Orisa in that instance because tanks are a little harder and take more time to try and kill. So just doubling down and making sure she will not be able to pop Fortify while an Ana is in her vicinity is really going to help me out, because Ana, when she gets her abilities, can definitely keep the Fortified Orisa alive. So the next thing I want to go over is just how hard you can counter some heroes as Sombra, and by hacking them, really just makes them completely useless. I'm going to show you a couple of examples of this, but basically he is free ult charge. If you hack a Hammond, he is not only a very easy kill, but also a great way to build your EMP extremely quickly. I mean, there really isn't much that Hammond can do against you. He basically only has a couple of options. So one of the options that a Hammond has is that he tries to roll or grapple away. The other option is that he tries to fight you. And you can't really win with either of those, because if he tries to roll away, you get a free hack off, because there's no damage interruption. So what's really interesting about this is that the Hammond is basically forced to fight you, because if he tries to run away at any time, then you're just going to hack him and you're going to be able to clean up that kill very easily. However, if he fights you, he might have a chance to beat you. Maybe there's a CC ability that hits you, and from there he can really kind of finish the kill. But more often than anything, you will have your translocator up pretty much every single time, right? So there's almost no way that you don't get some damage, some free ult charge in on that, and even if he does get you low, you're gonna get out for free every time, and with that, you're gonna have like 20, 30, 40% ult charge just from that fight. So being able to focus a Hammond is what you want to do every single time. I mean, in general, hacking a tank is going to provide probably the most value. Otherwise, going for Zenyatta because he's a very easy kill, unless he's maybe Jay Jonak or something. But most often, you want to hack the tank heroes, or maybe a Doomfist, kind of a character that really relies on the abilities. So in general, focusing the tanks is going to provide you the most value. Killing the supports is pretty easy to do, especially if they're squishy, very vulnerable, such as Zenyatta. Even Lucio can be very easy for you to kill. If you hack him, he's pretty much like non-existent, right? He doesn't have speed, he doesn't have heal, no wall ride. That's another big thing you need to remember, is that hacking people disables the passives as well. Being able to disable a wall climb or a wall ride from a Genji, Hanzo, or a Lucio can be pretty devastating to those heroes and make it very easy to kill them. One other really big thing to do with Sombra that you're going to have to get into the habit of is communicating. You want to communicate to your team who you're hacking, who's hacked, you know, when you're going to go EMP. Give them a countdown, 3, 2, 1, I'm EMPing this hero right now, get ready for it. Communication is key to Sombra. It pretty much makes and breaks it, right? That's one of the reasons why Sombra isn't that strong at lower ranks, but really dominates at the higher SR, because communication is everything. Anyways, guys, that's all I have for this video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.